this video, we're going to be going through how to balance chemical equations. So let's see on how to basically balance chemical equations. Let's say we have been given such. Let's say we have been given Fe plus Cl2 is equal to FeCl3. So let's see how we can balance such equation. So we have been given Fe plus Cl3, and then to give you FeCl3. So if we want to balance such an equation right out the gate, what can we notice? Oh, sorry, I have made a mistake. This should be 2. Sorry, this should be 2. Yeah, I'm sure that should be a 2. Yeah, it's a 2. So let's say we want to balance such an equation. So notice the whole point of balancing chemical equations is that what you have on the left hand side must be equal to what you have on the right hand side. Basic concept of generally any equation. So here notice that I've got 3 chlorines and I've got 2 chlorines here, and here I've got 1 ion, and there I've got also 1 ion. So you have got 3 and you have got 2. What is the lowest common number that can go into 3 and 2? Is obviously 6. So then my target would be to get 6 chlorines this side and 6 chlorines that side. So if here I wanted to obtain 6 chlorines, what I can simply say is I can introduce a 3. I'll introduce a 3, and then I'll have 3 chlorines. And then here, if I wanted to have 6 chlorines that side, I can simply introduce a 2. So I'll have 2, and then I'll have FeCl3. So now my chlorines, here I've got 6, here I've got 6. My chlorines are balanced, but how about my iron? Here I've got 2 ions, and then here I've got 1 ion. So if I place 1 ion here with a 2, then that will basically fix my problem. So I'll have 2Fe plus 3Cl2 to give me 2FeCl. FeCl3. So then my equation is balanced. So at this stage, yeah, fine. So let's go ahead and try out another example. Let's go ahead and try out another example. Let's say we have been given Fe plus O2 is equals to Fe2O3. Let's go ahead and see how we can solve that one. So I'm simply going to write that down. So let's say we have got Fe. What was my equation again? Sorry, Fe plus O2. Fe plus O2. Let's write that down. Fe plus O2. Fe plus O2 to give me Fe2O3. 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 So here we have got 2 iron, here we have got 1 iron, and then here we have got 2. So if we put in a 2 here, that might fix the iron problem, but it doesn't fix our oxygen, because oxygen here we have 2 and here we have got 3. So the lowest common number where 2 and 3 can go into is 6 again. So what number can I put to my oxygen to make it 6? So I can put in a 3. So let's say I put a 3 here, and then I'll have an O2, and then here I can put in a 2. I can put in a 2, so that my oxygen become 6. So now my oxygen and my oxygen are handled. Now how can I balance my ion? So now with the introduction of 2, notice that my ions have gone to 4. So here what can I do to make my ions 4? I can simply just go ahead and add a 4. Then I have successfully balanced my equation. Let's go ahead and try out the last example for this video. Let's try out our last example. So what is our last? So our last example is FeBr3. Let me just write that down. FeBr3. FeBr3. FeBr3 plus H2SO4, H2SO4 hydrogen sulfate, H2SO4 or sulfuric acid, but that's a story for another day, to give us Fe2SO4, okay, to give us Fe2SO4, Fe2, and then in brackets SO4 with a 3 subscripts plus HBr plus HBr plus HBr. So if I want to balance it, I think let me start with my, let's see if I want to balance such an equation. So here, if I wanted to balance such an equation, notice that here I've got 2 hydrogens, here I've got 1, so that can't help me as of now. So here I have got 1 bromine, and then here I've got 3 bromine. So I think first of all, let me just simply go with the one that's very basic. Here I've got 1 ion, and then here I've got 2. So I can simply write 2 ion, which is 2Fe, 2Fe, Br3, and then plus, and then now here, if here I was going to add a 6 for bromine to be stable, my hydrogen here to become 6, it will require 3. I hope you paid attention to whatever I said. So then here I'll have H2SO4 to give me, so this compound right here stays the same. It's the one that's helping us balance everything around us. So this becomes SO4 3, and then plus I just have to add a 6 there to balance my bromine and my hydrogen. So I will just have to add a 6 and say HBr. Now let's go over what we have done. Here we have we had 2 ion, so we have added a 2 to ion to make it stable. Now once we add the 2 to ion, our bromide changes to 6, because 2 times 3 is 6. So here we've added a 6. So now as soon as we have added a 6 to balance the bromine, our hydrogen value has changed. So here we had 2 hydrogens, so we have added a 3 for the hydrogen to balance, and then here notice that we had sulfur 3, and then we had oxygen 3 times 4, which is 12 3 times 4, which is 12. So then we have balanced our chemical equation just like that. So if you have enjoyed the video, please like, subscribe, share with friends, and I'll be seeing you guys in the next video.